my name is Dano and welcome to Rule Your Sound, the place for songwriters, producers, and music lovers to learn tips and tricks from today's top artists so that we can build out our library of ideas and take our own music and our own songs to the next level. I am so excited to share today's episode with you. Today we are going to talk about the best songs of 2020. And the way that we decided which songs are in fact the best songs of 2020 is by looking at the Hot 100 list. And in today's video, we included any song that was charting at #1 for more than 1 week in 2020. That was a total of 6 songs, so let's just dive right into it. So for number 6, we have Dynamite by BTS. This song charted in 2020 for 3 weeks. I am so excited that this is the first song that we get to talk about today because, first of all, I think that this song is incredible. Every aspect of the songwriting, the production was on point. I give it an A+++, and I am not surprised at all that the song was nominated for the Grammys. In case you missed it, we did talk about BTS's Dynamite in this video here, so definitely check it out if you didn't get a chance to watch it yet. So part of the reason that I'm so excited that this is the first song that we're talking about today is because this song has literally every single element that we've talked about on Rule Your Sound this year in this one song. They just did a phenomenal job, and I am so excited to just run down the list of what some of those examples are. So first things first, I think that part of the reason this song is so catchy is because it has that dance beat pumping, that heavy kick going out throughout the entire song, and it kind of gives you that like fist pumping vibe that when a song like this comes on, you just can't help but get out of your chair and dance. But if you remember from this video where we went over Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now, it's important that there's some variation or contrast in our songs so that our listeners don't get bored of that kick. And something that Dua Lipa did, something that BTS did, and a lot of artists do this, is they actually cut out that drum beat for just a second because we all know that it's going to come back in and we're waiting for it. We're anticipating that so that when the beat does come back in, we are that much more excited to get up out of our chairs and dance. You know I glow up. Hey, let's go. Another way that this song has some variation in it is, yes, we have the same chord progression going throughout the entire song, but the length of the chords changes from the chorus to the verse. That change in harmonic rhythm is a really great way to keep your listeners engaged, and I'm going to play it for you just so you can hear it, but before I do, I also want you to pay attention to the syncopation in the harmonic rhythm. If you're unsure what syncopation or harmonic rhythm is, definitely check out this video. We went into it a little more detail there, but research has proven that a little bit of syncopation makes your songs dancier. So that's something that BTS did in the harmonic rhythm here to help you get like that dancey vibe where it just turns it on. You don't know why. Something about it just makes you really feel like you need to dance. Let's go take a quick listen. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight. But if you guys must know my favorite part of this song, like my absolute favorite part of this song, is that there's a key change in it. I didn't want this to be the highlight of the video because, to be honest, a lot of popular music these days does not do key changes anymore, but I want you to know that makes me so sad because I am like one of those people that when Celine Dion or Whitney Houston comes on, I need to like stand up in my kitchen with like a spoon and sing my heart out, and those women always had like a ton of key changes in their song. It was part of that era really where like you have like these epic songs and you have that key change and it just like makes the crowd go nuts. So I don't know why music went away from that. I guess it fell out of style, but BTS is bringing it back. So let's go take a listen and see if it makes you as excited as it makes me. Light it up like dynamite. All right, so let's move right on to number 5, where we have Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. This song charted at #1 for 4 weeks in 2020. So I personally love this song. When it came out, I could not stop listening to it. But one of the things I loved not only about this song, but the entire album was that every single song was like soaking, dripping wet with a ton of delay, a ton of reverb, and it really creates this super wet sound that is just like so vibey and fun to listen to. But I think the main selling point of this song is not only the fact that it's dancey. If you notice, it has that same like fist pumping kick that we had in Dynamite by BTS, but it has such a strong 80s vibe, and it's just so much fun. And I'm not surprised at all that it went viral on TikTok for that reason. So I just want to, for a second, compare this song to Take On Me by a-ha, because that is like basically the most 80s song of all time. And just listen to the two, because it is so obvious that there were a lot of 80s influences, and probably honestly influences from this group when The Weeknd was writing this album. So let's take a quick listen to compare the two. If you notice, we have a really similar beat, there's some similar instrumentation, and you know, the vibe is really similar, to be honest. But I absolutely love the 80s vibe. I think The Weeknd did a phenomenal job at taking a lot of influences from the 80s, but really turning it into a contemporary modern song that we all love and enjoy. If you're looking for a fresh sound, consider playing around by experimenting, testing, you know, sounds and instruments from other eras that were really popular at that time. Especially when you mix it with things that are popular now, you can really create a new sound that'll help you stand out from the rest. All right, moving on to number 4, we have WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, which also charted for 4 weeks in 2020. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's the lyrics for me, and I think that most people will overwhelmingly agree with that. So can we just talk about this for 1 second? Because I don't want anyone being like, oh, this song is controversial or whatnot, because men sing about their dicks all the time. Even dating back to 1972 when Chuck Berry covered My Ding-a-ling. This was the only song of Chuck Berry's, the only song that charted at number 1. And guys, that is crazy to think about. Chuck Berry is the pioneer of rock and roll. He's dubbed the father of rock and roll. And the only song that got to number 1 was the one about his ding-a-ling. All right, so come on. We got all these songs about ding-a-lings, okay? Also, as a side note, everyone thought that Justin Timberlake was hilarious in Lonely Island's Dick in a Box on SNL, but I guarantee that if Spice Girls went on SNL and they sang about their box in a box, people would not think it's funny, and they'd be like, it's controversial, oh my gosh. In addition to this, men sing about pussies all the time. Exhibit A. So if you want to know what I really think, I think it is past due that it is time for women to start singing about their pussies. So Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, mwah, love you girls. And since we're talking about the lyrics, let's just read a few. Okay, everyone knows this. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Swipe your nose like a credit card. I let him taste it. Now he diabetic. I want you to touch that little dangly thing that swang in the back of my throat. Also, I did a really super lame parody of the song, so I'm just gonna embarrass myself and show you the link in case you wanna check it out. All right, for number 3, we have Mood by 24kGoldn. This song is amazing. It charted for 6 weeks in 2020, and we actually have a full video on it, so if you missed that, definitely check it out. But overall, the reason I think that this song is so good and so catchy is the songwriting team really did a phenomenal job at creating variation and contrast in the song while having repetition enough so that you can learn the words really quickly, but it doesn't get boring by the time the song ends. So we didn't really talk about this in that video, but if you look at the chord progression of this song, it does not change. It is the same chord progression from start to finish. And I think that just proves the point that you can have repetition, but it's really important to make sure that everything is varied and contrasted between each individual section of the song. I said it in the other video, but I'm gonna say it again. If you are copying and pasting your tracks, you are really doing something wrong, unless you're doing like some ASMR where like you want your people to fall asleep. But if you want to keep them engaged, you cannot copy and paste. Why would they want to hear the same exact thing that they just heard again? Continue to give them a really exciting listening experience by adding a little bit of variation and contrast, and definitely check out that video so you can see lots of ways that you can do that in your own music. All right, in the number 2 slot, we have Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch. This song charted number 1 for 7 weeks in 2020. Something that I think these artists do really well in this song is that it's always clear that there's something exciting for the listener to listen to from start to finish. So basically there's no dead spaces in the song, which really are points where your listener is going to snooze or press that skip button. We talked a little bit about a technique called spotlighting in this video of What You Know About Love by Pop Smoke, and that's something that was used again in this song. So spotlighting can mean a few different things, but the way that it's used in this song is picture that you have like a live band scene on stage and you have all your instruments, you have your vocalists, whatever, and your spotlight is always shining on one person or one instrument every single moment throughout your song. So for example, if the singer is singing something and they stop, that spotlight will move onto something else. So if you're testing this out in your own songs, if you're listening to your song and there's nothing for that spotlight to be on at that moment, that could potentially be a dead space and an opportunity to use one of these techniques. So the way that the lyrics are, there are 2 opportunities for there to be potential dead spaces in the chorus, and they're actually filled in a really fun way. So let's go take a quick listen.
Let's go. Brand new Lamborghini, the cop car. With a pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Have you ever met a real rock star? This ain't no guitar, but this a clock.
All right, so I hope that that was helpful. And as I said, feel free to, try that out in your own song. Pretend that you have a spotlight. And, if there's nothing exciting for your listeners to listen to, throw something in there. All right, the number 1 song, drum roll, please. The number 1 song of 2020 is The Box by Roddy Ricch. This song charted for a staggering 11 weeks at number 1 in 2020. It's nominated for a Grammy, and I personally am keeping my fingers crossed that this is the song of the year. First, Roddy Ricch is amazing in every way, and this song is fire. So if you have not heard it, remove the rock that you're living under and listen to it, because it really is such an amazing song. First, I absolutely love the use of a full orchestra in this song. It really creates this feeling of like epicness. Like it's so big and epic and full, and that orchestra really gives like kind of like that intense vibe, and I just absolutely love it. Another thing that I'm obsessed with is the ee-oo creaky door sound effect that Roddy Ricch used throughout the song. Let's go take a quick listen. And this is the point that I really want to end on for 2020, and something that I hope that you take to heart and take with you as you continue to create some beautiful music in 2021. And that is to be yourself and trust yourself. When Roddy Ricch told people about his idea to mouth a creaky door sound, people thought he was crazy and they didn't want him to do it. Yet he trusted his gut and he trusted his instinct, and he knew it would sound good. So he pushed forward anyway. He pushed forward when people were telling him, that it wasn't going to work. He trusted himself. He trusted his judgment. This is my 2021 resolution, is to trust myself more. And I hope that it's something that you try to do as well. It's really hard as songwriters when we are trying to create new music. It's important to learn from and study from all these artists that we're talking about in Rule Your Sound. But at the end of the day, you need to have your own flavor too. You have to bring your own flavor, your own personality to this, so that your reflection can show in your art, and you can really convey the message that you have that is so unique to you to other listeners, and put that message out into the world. So that means you have to try new things. You have to trust your gut. You have to do things that other people might think are weird that will end up sounding cool in the finished product. You also have to have the freedom to play, to try new things, to try wacky, crazy ideas. And if you don't like it, then throw it out, whatever. At least you tried. So the point I'm going to end on, and what I want to leave you with, and what I promise I'm going to try to do in 2021, is to really be yourself, trust yourself, love yourself, and continue making great, great music. If you have new music coming out, please leave it in the comments. I would love to check it out. And since this is the last video of 2020, I just want to personally say thank you so, so much for subscribing to my channel and for liking and sharing. This has been such a fun journey so far. We're still still a new channel, only about 2 months in, but it wouldn't be what it is without you. So thank you. And I cannot wait for 2021. We got lots of really exciting things. So make sure that you subscribe and tell a friend. I promise that we're going to have a lot of fun together next year. Thanks so much.